Ladies, I need to tell you something directly. If you're over 50 and your skin is thinning, your wrinkles deepen faster each month, and your face no longer reflects how vibrant you feel inside, the real problem may not be age at all. It may be a silent process destroying your collagen every single day. And what shocks most women is how quickly this destruction begins, and how one simple nut can start slowing it down. As a women's health specialist with more than 15 years of experience, I can tell you that collagen destruction after 50 is not simply age. It is a biological acceleration most women are never warned about. The loss becomes faster when circulation slows, hormones shift, and oxidative stress rises beneath the surface long before wrinkles appear. What surprises many of my patients is that this process can be influenced far more easily than they expect. A single nut used consistently and at the right time of day can begin slowing this internal breakdown by supporting blood flow, calming inflammation, and restoring the signals your skin depends on to rebuild. Not a miracle, not a shortcut, just biology finally working in your favor again. My name is Dr. Eliza Hart, and if you want clear, science-based guidance for women over 50, I invite you to subscribe. Comment the country you're watching from so I know these messages are reaching women worldwide, and help me reach 50,000 subscribers to keep this work growing. Stay with me until the end. I have a small but important surprise about collagen repair that most women never hear, and it begins with our first nut. 1. Pistachios, the circulation activator for collagen renewal. Before we begin, let me guide you naturally from the introduction into the first turning point for women after 50. Once you understand why collagen destruction accelerates, the question becomes what subtle daily choices can redirect this decline without overwhelming your body. Among all foods studied for mature skin, pistachios stand out, not because they are trendy, but because they influence the deepest biological factor protecting your collagen circulation. Here is the truth most women never hear. Collagen does not disappear only because of age or shifting hormones. It weakens when the tiny vessels beneath your skin no longer deliver the oxygen and nutrients your fibroblasts need to rebuild. Reduced blood flow means reduced repair, and without repair, fine lines settle into deeper folds. Texture becomes uneven and the skin slowly loses its natural resilience. Pistachios step into this conversation because they are rich in arginine and amino acid. Your body converts into nitric oxide, a molecule that helps blood vessels widen and relax. When this pathway improves, circulation improves, and with it comes the return of nourishment to areas that have quietly been deprived for years. My patients often describe this shift not as a sudden transformation, but as a gentle reawakening. Their skin begins to retain moisture more easily, nighttime dullness softens, and morning puffiness becomes less persistent. This is not magic. It is simply biology responding when blood flow is restored. Pistachios also provide antioxidants that counter oxidative stress, the same internal damage that accelerates collagen breakdown, offering support at a time when your natural defenses are gradually declining. But what moves many women most is the emotional change. When circulation improves, they feel less defeated by what they see in the mirror. Their routines begin to feel meaningful again rather than discouraging, and they realize that aging skin is not failing. It is responding to years of unmet physiological needs. A small handful of pistachios each day, eaten consistently rather than excessively, is enough to begin supporting this internal recovery process. And although circulation is foundational, it is only the beginning. There is another force that accelerates collagen destruction, one that damages your cells directly, and the nut that protects against it works in a completely different way. Let's move toward that next. 2. Almonds, the vitamin E shield against collagen breakdown. If circulation is the foundation that keeps your skin supplied with what it needs, then the next layer of protection is something far more intimate, the stability of your cells themselves. And this is where many women are caught off guard. You can improve blood flow, hydrate well, and care for your skin meticulously, yet still watch your collagen decline if your cells remain vulnerable to silent internal damage. That is why almonds enter this conversation with a completely different kind of power, one that works at the microscopic level, where collagen fibers are either preserved or slowly destroyed. The quiet reality is that oxidative stress becomes one of the strongest forces accelerating aging after 50. As estrogen declines, your natural antioxidant defenses weaken, leaving collagen exposed to free radicals that chip away at its structure. This damage is rarely felt in the moment. You only notice it months or years later when wrinkles deepen more quickly, firmness fades faster, and your skin stops bouncing back the way it once did. Almonds matter here because they are one of the richest natural sources of vitamin E, but not the synthetic form many women unknowingly take. The vitamin E in whole almonds is delivered with fats and plant compounds that allow it to neutralize free radicals directly around collagen-producing cells. Women often tell me they feel as if their skin has been weathered by time. What they're sensing is cumulative oxidative wear. When almonds are eaten consistently, even a small handful daily, they help create a protective environment where collagen is less likely to fragment. Over time, skin begins to look calmer, less irritated, and less prone to the sudden drops in elasticity that are so common after menopause. What surprises many women is that almonds also support the gut microbiome, and when gut inflammation softens, the skin often follows. The body is far more interconnected than most realize, and when balance returns internally, the face reflects it quietly but unmistakably. Yet even with improved cellular protection, one question remains: what happens when hormonal signaling itself becomes unstable? That shift affects collagen more deeply than most women ever realize, and the nut that addresses this next does so through a completely different biological pathway. Let's continue. 3. Pecans, the hormonal stabilizer for menopausal skin. There is a stage in every woman's life when the changes in her skin no longer feel random, when the patterns become unmistakable. The products that once worked stop delivering results. The face seems to lose firmness more quickly, and the skin reacts to stress or weather with a sensitivity it never had before. These shifts often leave women wondering why their routines suddenly feel ineffective. The answer, more often than not, lies in the hormonal landscape that reshapes itself after 50, influencing collagen at a depth few realize. During and after menopause, estrogen doesn't simply decrease. It alters how your fibroblasts interpret repair signals, how efficiently collagen is rebuilt, and how resilient the skin remains under everyday stress. When this communication becomes irregular, collagen synthesis slows, structural support weakens, and the visible signs of aging intensify. Pecans enter this discussion because they are uniquely rich in plant sterols, natural compounds that help the body regulate hormonal pathways with a gentleness supplements often lack. They do not force hormonal shifts. They help ease the turbulence that makes collagen more unstable, offering steadier internal conditions at a time when many women feel their skin no longer reflects their true vitality. Many women describe this stage as feeling like their skin has lost its anchor. Pecans offer support by supplying unsaturated fats that strengthen the barrier antioxidants that soothe inflammation triggered by hormonal fluctuation, and nutrients that help the skin maintain a steadier rhythm of repair. When internal balance improves, the skin often follows with quieter texture, calmer tone, and a gradual restoration of elasticity that feels both noticeable and reassuring. Their benefits extend further. Pecans provide zinc and magnesium minerals essential for fibroblast function, tissue repair, and hormonal communication. Combined with their cardiovascular support, pecans enhance nutrient delivery to the skin through improved circulation, indirectly reinforcing collagen's stability over time, and helping the complexion withstand daily stressors with greater resilience. Yet even with hormonal balance supported, one more factor determines how rapidly collagen breaks down the body's ability to protect its cells from deeper structural damage. This defense depends heavily on a mineral that many women lack without realizing it, and the nut that provides it does so in a remarkably concentrated form. That is where we're headed next. 4. Brazil nuts, the selenium defense for deep collagen protection. For many women, the most confusing stage of skin aging is the moment when nothing on the surface seems to explain what is happening underneath. Products are chosen carefully, routines are followed faithfully, yet the face still develops deeper lines, sudden roughness, and a kind of tired texture that makeup can no longer hide. What you are seeing in that mirror is not simply old skin, it is collagen trying to function without enough cellular protection. This is where Brazil nuts and their extraordinary selenium content become critically important. Selenium is a cornerstone of the body's glutathione-based antioxidant system, one of the few defenses capable of neutralizing the oxidative reactions that literally cut through collagen fibers over time. After 50, as estrogen declines and repair enzymes slow, this system weakens, leaving fibroblasts and structural proteins exposed. Without adequate selenium, even good circulation and hormonal support cannot fully prevent microscopic damage from accumulating day after day. Brazil nuts offer a form of selenium that the body can use efficiently, helping restore this internal shield. With consistent moderate intake, usually just one nut per day for most women, selenium supports more stable cellular activity, calms inflammatory cascades, and helps collagen maintain its architecture instead of collapsing under stress. Many women describe the shift not as sudden tightening, but as fewer mornings where the skin looks deflated, less creasing around expression lines, and a complexion that appears more quietly supported from within. Since we are now speaking about deep, long-term collagen protection, I want to hear from you directly. If this explanation feels clear and reassuring, comment 1. 1. If it feels new, surprising, or even a little confronting, comment 0, so I know this is the kind of education you need more of. Your responses tell me how to shape future videos in a way that truly serves you. Yet even a strengthened antioxidant shield has limits if the rest of the body remains inflamed and overworked. Selenium can defend collagen, but it cannot by itself rewrite the broader inflammatory environment that drives aging. For that, we turn to a nut whose nutrients reach into circulation, cell membranes, and even sleep quality, a combination that changes how your skin experiences time itself. 5. Walnuts, the anti-inflammatory omega-3 for slow-aging skin. Many women over 50 reach a moment of quiet realization, even with balanced routines, careful product choices, and consistent habits. The skin continues to show signs of strain that seem disproportionate to their efforts. Lines that once softened with rest remain visible the next morning. Elasticity flickers unpredictably, and the complexion develops a kind of underlying tension that feels new. What you are witnessing in those moments is not failure. It is the cumulative effect of chronic low-grade inflammation silently unraveling collagen over time. This is why walnuts hold such unique value in a collagen-focused approach to healthy aging. Walnuts contain one of the most concentrated sources of plant-based omega-3s, ALA, a nutrient that influences inflammation at the biochemical level rather than simply masking its effects. When omega-3 intake is insufficient, the body becomes more reactive, signaling inflammation more easily and placing continuous pressure on fibroblasts, the very cells responsible for collagen production. As a result, collagen degrades faster, repairs more slowly, and the skin becomes more vulnerable to environmental stressors. But what elevates walnuts beyond their omega-3 content is their combination of polyphenols and micronutrients. These compounds are metabolized by the gut into molecules that support mitochondrial resilience, helping skin cells maintain energy and function even under daily stress. Many women describe noticing fewer abrupt changes in texture, a steadier tone throughout the week, and expression lines that appear less etched. These shifts may seem subtle, but they are profound indicators of a calmer internal environment, one where collagen is no longer assaulted by persistent inflammatory activity. Walnuts also reinforce vascular health, which directly benefits the skin's repair capacity. When circulation improves, nutrients and oxygen reach deeper tissues, more consistently supporting the structural network that keeps the face firm and lifted. Their naturally occurring melatonin can further support nighttime recovery, allowing collagen repair to proceed more efficiently while you sleep. Yet even with these advantages, nutrition alone cannot deliver its full potential without proper timing. The skin's response to food is deeply tied to daily rhythms, digestive patterns, and hormonal shifts, especially after 50. To unlock the full benefit of these nuts, we need to consider when they are eaten, not just what they provide. And that is the focus of our next section. 6. Timing. When and how to eat these nuts for skin benefit. One of the most surprising lessons many women learn in their 50s is that the benefits of even the healthiest foods can be weakened or entirely lost when timing works against the body's natural rhythms. You may choose the right nutrients, support circulation, stabilize hormones, and strengthen antioxidant defenses, yet still see minimal improvement simply because the body is receiving these inputs at the wrong moment. Timing becomes especially important after 50 when digestion slows, hormonal signaling shifts, and the skin relies more heavily on predictable rhythms to repair itself. Eating nuts earlier in the day allows their healthy fats, antioxidants, and micronutrients to be absorbed and utilized without overwhelming the digestive system. Morning or early afternoon intake supports steadier blood sugar, improves vascular signaling, and provides fibroblasts with consistent access to the building blocks they need for collagen repair. Women who shift their nut intake earlier often describe feeling less facial puffiness, calmer skin tone later in the day, and more stable hydration through the evening. By contrast, eating nuts late at night can unintentionally disrupt the very processes you're trying to support. As digestion slows in the evening, heavy or dense foods may create subtle abdominal pressure, leading to fluid shifts that make the face appear puffier by morning. Late fats can also interfere with the hormonal cues that prepare the body for sleep. Cues that are critical because nighttime is when collagen repair is most active. When the system is overstimulated near bedtime, the skin loses one of its best opportunities to recover. How you eat matters as well. Rushed chewing, distracted snacking, or pairing nuts with overly salty foods can strain the digestive tract, triggering inflammation that travels through the bloodstream and subtly aggravates the skin. Eating slowly, choosing raw or lightly roasted nuts, and pairing them with fruits or high-fiber foods helps nutrients reach the skin more efficiently while minimizing inflammatory triggers. Understanding timing does more than enhance results. It ensures that all your previous efforts work in harmony rather than competition. And once timing is aligned, there is one more factor that often determines success or regression, a daily habit capable of quietly undoing your progress if left unaddressed. That essential correction is where we turn next. 7. The one common mistake that cancels skin progress. Even when women choose the right nutrients, support circulation, protect their cells, and time their foods well, many still feel frustrated by the lack of meaningful change in their skin. They follow every recommendation with commitment, yet the mirror reflects progress that rises and falls unpredictably. When I explore this pattern with patients, a familiar theme emerges: a single deeply ingrained habit that quietly works against collagen every day. It is not dramatic, and it rarely feels harmful in the moment, but its cumulative effect can erase weeks of careful effort. That habit is excessive sodium and highly processed foods. After 50, the body becomes more sensitive to fluid balance and inflammatory triggers. Salty packaged foods, canned soups, frozen meals, and restaurant dishes create shifts in water retention that directly affect the face. Puffiness increases the skin, looks heavier, and collagen fibers experience subtle stretching that weakens their structure over time. Women often tell me their skin feels swollen yet tired, a description that perfectly reflects this internal imbalance. When sodium remains high, Fibroblasts struggle to repair collagen efficiently because inflammation keeps the skin in a reactive state. Highly processed foods carry an additional burden. Their additives, refined sugars, and artificial fats stimulate inflammatory pathways that move through the bloodstream and reach the skin, creating an environment where collagen is constantly degrading. Even the best omega-3s, antioxidants, and micronutrients cannot fully compensate for this daily inflammatory pressure. Many women don't realize that their evening meals, especially restaurant foods, are often the quiet reason their morning skin looks more lined, more textured, or more dehydrated. The encouraging truth is that once this habit is corrected, improvements often happen faster than expected. Reducing sodium in the evening, limiting processed snacks, and choosing whole foods give the skin room to respond to all the supportive steps you are already taking. Women frequently describe clearer contours, less morning swelling, and a complexion that feels more awake rather than weighed down. Still, before assuming this approach fits every woman over 50, we must acknowledge that individual differences matter. Certain health conditions, medications, and sensitivities require a more personalized perspective, and that is exactly what we explore in the next section: who this method is truly designed for, and when modifications are necessary. 8. Who this approach is for and when caution matters. As we bring all these pieces together, circulation, hormonal balance, antioxidant defense, inflammation control, and proper timing, many women feel a renewed sense of hope. Yet one of the most important lessons I've learned in more than 15 years of clinical practice is that not every strategy is right for every woman, even when it is natural, safe, and well-researched. Understanding whether this collagen-supporting approach fits your body is essential before you commit to it fully. This method works best for women over 50 who are navigating gradual, predictable changes, a softening jawline, deeper expression lines, slower nighttime recovery, or a sense that the skin no longer bounces back as easily as it once did. These women typically benefit greatly from improved circulation, steady hormonal support, and targeted nutrients that strengthen the skin's internal architecture. For them, the nuts we discussed can act as daily reinforcements, small, consistent inputs that gradually reshape the skin's resilience. However, there are situations where more caution is necessary. Women with nut allergies, autoimmune skin conditions, thyroid disorders, or ongoing medical treatments may require individualized adjustments. Brazil nuts, for example, contain high selenium levels, which can be supportive in moderation but problematic in excess for women with certain thyroid sensitivities. Likewise, those on blood-thinning medications may need to monitor omega-3 intake more closely, even when it comes from whole foods like walnuts. Digestive issues also matter. Women with slower motility, bloating, or chronic gut inflammation may need to introduce nuts gradually and observe how their body responds. A healthy digestive tract is essential because so many of these nutrients depend on proper absorption to benefit the skin. What remains universal, however, is this: these strategies are not meant to replace medical care or promise dramatic overnight transformation. They are designed to work with your biology, not against it, and to help your skin age with greater steadiness and confidence. Now that we've explored both the power and limitations of this approach, we can finally turn to the heart of this message, the deeper perspective that ties everything together and explains why small, consistent habits can reshape the way your skin ages. That final insight is where we go next. Collagen restoration after 50 is not about chasing youth. It is about aligning your daily choices with the way your body now functions. When circulation improves, when hormones stabilize, when oxidative stress is controlled, and when inflammation quiets, your skin gains the environment it needs to repair itself with steadiness rather than struggle. These nuts are not miracles, but they are reliable, accessible tools that support the deeper biology shaping every wrinkle, line, and contour. If you feel this kind of science-based, compassionate guidance is valuable, And if you wish to help this channel continue creating educational content for women over 50, you're welcome to support through a small donation, only if it feels right for you and never out of pressure. If this video helped you, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for spending your time here and for caring so deeply about your health and your aging journey.